What if the current tranquil consolidation is actually the deep, silent breath before an earth-shattering roar rather than a sign of stagnation? Beneath the market's surface, a significant change is developing, a pump so huge that it could totally surprise the great majority of individuals. Although a lot of people are obsessed with XRP's current price range, which is between $2.95 and $3, impatience and skepticism start to seep in. Consolidation is evident to them and they see sideways motion. However, what is actually happening is a coiling spring, a compression of energy that will shock the system in a way that few can understand when it is released. I firmly think that the impending eruption will be so abrupt and intense that it will completely astound those who are not ready. This situation has the potential to drastically alter fortunes. Those who study the complex language of market charts are currently weaving an intriguing story. According to historical patterns cited by technical analysts, XRP has painstakingly retraced the steps of its previous cycles. There is more to this than wishful thinking. It reflects fractal patterns and market psychology that have already occurred, with estimates ranging from a modest $27 to an almost unthinkable $140. Their predictions are nothing short of astounding. What happens when an asset of this size makes a move like that is beyond comprehension. The consequences would be enormous. It would be more of a seismic shockwave than a market event, like being struck by a natural force so strong that everyone is rendered speechless by the enormity of what has just happened. Standing in the dust of a rocket they vowed never to launch will be the chorus of skeptics, the voices that have shadowed this area for years. And take a moment to reflect. Imagine a moment when the buzz was overwhelming and XRP was trading at 17 cents, 20 cents, or even 25 cents. Do you recall the constant campaign of doubt and fear? You might wonder how many of those same voices and skeptics would be willing to go back in time and purchase XRP at those prices. The solution is clear. That was a period of unheard of opportunity rather than dread for those with the conviction and vision to hold fast to their beliefs. It was a time of silent accumulation, an opportunity to lay the groundwork before the public noticed. Imagine that 10,000 XRP might have been obtained at one time with an investment of merely $1,700. Before the case was even a rumor, we were building up. The price fell to just $1.74 when the legal storm eventually broke out. However, what appeared to be a disaster turned out to be a point of entry for generations. The same 10,000 XRP now requires an expenditure of about $30,000. That is a remarkable contrast, demonstrating the strength of perseverance in the face of adversity. Since the idea is still the same, let's project this reality into the future. One day, the individual who is putting in a lot of effort today to attain their target of 10,000 XRP at $3 a piece will be looked upon with the same jealousy as those who invested at pennies. I have no doubt that they will reflect on this time and give thanks to their lucky stars for their resolve, because this is not the end of the voyage. Think about the future of mathematics. The same target of 10,000 units will need $100,000 in capital when XRP eventually rises to $10. How many people, in your opinion, are actually able to make such an investment? Now take that a step farther. It becomes $200,000 at $20. At $30, it would cost an incredible $300,000 to purchase the identical bag that seems to be within reach today. I don't just believe that these days will arrive, I can sense them coming with absolute surety. These price suppressions and dips that generate so much fear are not traps, they serve as entry points. We were able to strengthen our positions throughout those times, and it's been really transformative. And that experience, along with the desire to express an authentic viewpoint forged in the furnace of market instability, served as the basic basis for this channel. Whether there's some secret influence at work is a question I've seen in countless letters and comments. Are you getting paid by Ripple, either directly or indirectly, to talk about XRP? No, without reservation is and has always been the answer. Offerings of thousands of dollars to promote other currencies and projects on our platform have been made to us. We've turned them all down. Nothing has ever been provided by Ripple in return for this commentary. Brad Garlinghouse and David Schwartz are two important people I've had the honor of meeting in person. As a reminder of those early days, they have signed memorabilia that is being kept safe behind glass. They have met members of my own family. Michael Arrington is one of the pioneers I've met. These people were quite friendly and approachable throughout all of these encounters, but there was never a discussion about pay or advancement. Therefore, keep in mind that this viewpoint isn't rented when you hear it. It isn't a neutral, objective observation. I was once corrected by someone who said I must mean unbiased. I mean exactly what I say. No, this viewpoint is skewed. This belief stems from years of in-depth research, first-hand experience in this market, and a strong belief in the technology and its possibilities. There has been a constant effort to shake us out. The lawsuit which tested each holder's resolve was the result of the intimidation and fear efforts. Classifying XRP as a security was a smokescreen for something else entirely, and I was convinced that there was a deeper game being played when that lawsuit was filed. And what followed was really instructive. With the notable exception of Uphold, nearly all of the main US exchanges exchanges took action to delist XRP. Their justification was fear of the SEC. Maybe that has anything to do with it. However, I think that cutting off the primary channel of entry for regular grassroots investors was a well thought out action. They attempted to cut us off from the most important marketplace in the world. However, what took place in that difficult setting? Has XRP died and withered? Number two, the impossible was accomplished. In just 4 months, it soared from a low of 17.48 cents to almost 197, yielding a wound 200% return. That is an incredible demonstration of unadulterated strength and tenacity, demonstrating the asset's worldwide strength despite the disruption of its main market. The old models are breaking because of this. The 4-year cycle's inflexible premise is no longer as predictive. The cycle theorists predicted a December high during our most recent significant run. It took place in April. In this field, an 8-month absence is equivalent to a lifetime. I no longer adhere to that antiquated paradigm. A calendar won't determine the upcoming growing seasons,